Ngā mihi nui ki a koutou. Thank you very much for an opportunity, or the opportunity, to support my colleague Grant Robertson's Royal Society of New Zealand Amendment Bill, and at this point in the debate, focusing on Clause 7. And I'd just like to highlight that the part of Clause 7 that I will be talking about really was also Clause 6, and that is the object of the Society is the advancement and promotion of New Zealand science, technology and the humanities, and of course all of which are underpinned by research or evidence-based action. And I'd like to acknowledge the Honourable Pete Hodgson, who was the Minister of Research, Science and Technology, and actually when I was Māori Research Manager at the Health Research Council of New Zealand. So the RS&T sector historically for me has been one that I know quite a bit about, and I obviously know quite a bit about some of what the Honourable Pete Hodgson was talking about in terms of conflict of interest, but also in terms of scientists themselves being able to select and be involved in processes of allocating our public good research and science and technology money. But what I really wanted to focus on really was the definition, and the definition that we have in this amendment bill about humanities, which includes languages, and I do hope that there is an opportunity for us to ensure that our Indigenous languages are part of that definition. History, religion, philosophy, law, classics, linguistics, literature, cultural studies, media studies, art, history, film and drama. So it's very interesting for me, Mr Chair, to actually look at the definition of humanities that I could find on the net, as you do. And so for me it is very much about an academic discipline, which is about studying the human condition, using disciplines that are analytical, critical and speculative. And for me, what does that mean in terms of humanities outputs in the future? And I think it's very exciting, and I just want to highlight that the Royal Society, having been around since 1867, has really mirrored situations that many countries across the world and many leading academies such as Scotland and Canada have in ensuring that the humanities are integrated into the work of the Royal Society. So it's very exciting that the breadth of the Royal Society has included now the humanities, but if we look at some of the historical work that the Royal Society has been involved with, and I'd particularly like to highlight Dr. Steve Thompson, who was involved with the Royal Society when I was working at the Health Research Council of New Zealand. But some of the humanities role I believe that they have played over the years, if we look at some of the findings or some of the evidence that they came out with, or that they decided to share with the New Zealand public. For example, the Royal Society signed a petition in favour of GM testing in 2008. It was really interesting to note that also they released a report by the Energy Panel released by the Energy Panel of New Zealand Royal Society in 2006 recommended that the government set aggressive but achievable targets for renewable transport fuels, that they should phase out the use of fossil fuels unless carbon emissions can be contained, and put in place policies to ensure that fossil fuel-free targets were met by 2020. So as we can see, the Royal Society has historically engaged in the humanities pursuit, but I guess now with this formal mandate, it means that there will be a greater opportunity for our humanities leaders, our humanities academics to be able to apply to the Royal Society. Also of note, in 2006, the Chief Executive, Dr. Steve Thompson, said the government's R&D investment of about 0.52% of GDP was well below its goal of reaching the OECD average, currently 0.68% of GDP and still rising. So we're chasing a moving target and the gap is getting bigger, he said. So it's going to be very interesting to monitor in the future what this definition actually will mean to the Royal Society. But I would like to commend my colleague Grant Robertson for prioritising actually this private members bill, because obviously when you come in...
I'll call